Hello everyone, welcome to a new UI update for RPG Builder. So this time it's not about making the UI look better, it's looking kind of the same, but it's more about making it more accessible as well as easier to navigate. On top of that, I'm going to be presenting a new menu that was not existing before. So first we'll be taking a look at the character panel. This is now split into different tabs, as you can see. So you have gear, info, stats, and talents. Before it was kind of all cluttered and stuff. You had this like the currently equipped armors and weapons next to the stats and so on. It was a bit messy. So you now have this gear tab. You now have the info tab. I know it's really not looking great, but this is just to make it functional for now. Here, so you can see your character name, the race, the class, the level, and the current experience. If you now go to the stats, it's the exact same thing as before, but on its own tab. And now we have the talent tab, and this is where your talent trees and combat trees are going to be displayed. So remember that the talent trees that are visible here are dictated by the combat trees you attach to your class. So in this case, as you can see, we are a mage, and if we go to the RPG Builder editor here, go to the mage section, select to the class section and look at the mage. We see that we have two combat trees here, Pyromancer and Arcanist, and these are why those two are visible. And you can now simply open one when you click one of those, talent slots, and it will show you the proper tree. So in this case, we're looking at the Pyromancer. If we go back there, we can now look at the Arcanist and so on. So that was it for the character panel. Now let's take a look at the new panel, which is the skill list, so or rather a skill book. Here you see that on this character I currently have those three skills. We have blacksmithing, herbalism, and mining. So a few information are displayed without having to click on them yet. So as you see, we can see of course the skill name, the icon, and we have the level. So it's showing the current level and the maximum level. And this is the same, of course, for all of those. And this green bar here you see at the bottom of each skill is the current experience. But if you want more information about the skills as well as accessing the trees, you can click on them. You can also, of course, go back and so on. But if we are now looking at the blacksmithing, you see that we now see the current XP value. So it's, a bit more detailed. We still have the icon and so on, but now it's also showing the trees for this skill. So what we have here is, if we go to skills now, blacksmithing, you see that each skills can have both crafting and gathering trees. In the case of blacksmithing, it only has crafting trees, and it has two. The first one is heavy armors and the second one is weapons, and that's exactly what we see here. So all of this, of course, this UI is 100% auto-generated. As you can see, if we now go to herbalism, it's going to be properly updated, so you don't have anything to do for this UI. You just create your skills and stuff in the editor, and all of that is done for you. And if you now click on heavy armors, you can see that of course there is not much going on in those trees yet. There is going to be a lot more stuff in the demo, but right now it's just showing you that it's indeed the heavy armors tree of the blacksmithing skill. Now if we go to weapon, it's showing the weapon one, and if we go to herbalism, for example, it's going to show us different resource nodes and stuff. So if we go back now again in the editor, and I want to show you why do we see those two things here, like how did this happen. For the gathering trees, you simply go to world and gathering trees, and if we look at ores, so right now this is the tree we're looking at. We're looking at the ore tree, and here you see that you have two resource nodes in there, and we have the iron ore and copper ore, and that's what we're looking here, iron ore, copper ore. So that's pretty much it for this UI update. I hope you like it. I think, like I said, it's not made to look great, right? It's made to be more accessible, easier to navigate and so on. I'm going to make a final visual pass before 1.0. So things are going to look a bit better, but remember that RPG Builder is not here to make your game look good. It's here to make your game play well and have a very fun, gameplay, content. All the hard part are done for you, but what's left to do for you is basically building your world and making your UI look pretty and unique. So I'm not going to spend too much time making a nice looking UI, because that should be one of the first things you want to replace. Otherwise, you know, your game will look very similar to other games. So I'm just making sure things are functional, things are working well, and you can then now yourself go inside Unity, inside your RPG Builder canvas, and modify all those layouts and fonts and colors and windows. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.